Hey trackies, welcome back to another video. Please remember to smash that subscribe button, hit the like button as well. That's how the video gets to the YouTube algorithm. Share the video if you care. I hope y'all care, so share and sound off in the comment section below. I'm going to try to get through this video as best as possible without, breaking because honestly, as I told y'all yesterday, I was on the verge of crying and yeah, it hasn't gotten any better. Dark days ahead for Team Jamaica, and I'm thinking about, the silver lining. And honestly, track is as things stand right now, given what I know, yeah, more dark days ahead. No, I did highlight that Sportsmax revealed that hey, Turkey was literally raiding Jamaica. Our elite athletes were being, petitioned to represent Turkey, and they were being given huge sums, and a lot of these athletes were interested. And also, you know what? They highlighted that a lot of these athletes are the field events athletes. Well, guess what? This morning it has been announced. Two names so far, trackies, have been announced. They are the Olympic discus champion, first for Jamaica. Wow. The champion, the Olympic record holder, the gold medalist. Roje Stoner will be representing Turkey going forward. And also another first for Jamaica, first ever medal in the shot put. The bronze medalist, Rajindra Campbell, will also be representing Turkey going forward. Now, track is the athletes made these decisions clearly for personal, reasons. And for me personally, even if you think about persons that migrate for better opportunities, it's really no different when you think about what these athletes are choosing to do. But honestly, from a sports fan perspective, of course a Jamaican fan perspective, this cuts deep, this hurts a lot, and I'm very hurt right now watching two of our best athletes. They're young, they have a bright future ahead of them. And as I said, these two athletes really, especially when you think about what happened in Paris 2024, lifted us up. We were in a dark place and they lifted us up with their medals. And now they will no longer be representing Jamaica. So it definitely hurts a lot. As for why they made this decision, track is, I can't really fault them because again, I did point out, yesterday with, Rajindra Campbell, let's use him as an example. A bronze medalist from the Olympic Games, no contract. Like, how are these athletes supposed to live, survive, pay their coaches, do everything, just to continue to do their job without, getting any money or earning properly from, the sport? So really and truly, I can't fault Rajindra Campbell. Not surprised at all seeing that Rajindra is on the list. It's interesting because, when I was, highlighting Rajindra, I didn't have him on the list. I did get to know some names, but for sure not Rajindra Campbell. So it's interesting, seeing in light of, what I spoke of yesterday, seeing that he's on the list, and I'm certainly not surprised. Roje Stone, I'm not surprised as well because we all know he did not, up to this particular point when this information was dropped, he wasn't one of those athletes that were registered to compete at the Jamaica Senior Championships. I suppose the writing was on the wall. I suppose maybe I'm a little bit more comfortable with Roger Stoner, the idea of it at least, because I was actually preparing my mind for Roger eventually not representing Jamaica because I do know that he was, interested heavily in competing in the NFL. So I was actually preparing my mind from last year that, hey, or maybe it was the year before, I'm not remembering, but I was preparing my mind for the eventuality of him probably leaving track and field and, doing other things, right? So it doesn't really cut as deep as it does for Rajindra, but it hurts nonetheless that to see two of these amazing athletes, no longer representing Jamaica. But as I said, for the reasons that they're, choosing to represent Turkey, I honestly cannot fault them. And honestly, track is, as I said, I got names. So more is to come, and it's gonna cut deep. It's gonna cut deeper, I think, than it is cutting now for Rajindra and Roger Stoner. As I said, I feel like crying. I don't really want to spend too long on this video because the longer I spend is the more I feel myself breaking down. I get, quite emotional clearly when it comes to track and field. But yeah, all I can say is, track is just prepare for more. I don't know if this is going to be comforting in any kind of way. I do remember somebody in my comment section, it's kind of funny because I'm smirking. No, this person said, there's no top flight Jamaican athlete that will ever choose this. And I said to myself, Well, I actually think I, responded in the comments and I said, well, you're going to be surprised, when the names, start to come out or when the announcements are made. And, so far, two names have been, released. And clearly, this is the best of the best. Two medalists, right? So far, have been released. And as I said, more is to come. And the more that is to come, track is given, I believe, how ingrained they are in the culture and the sport for the track and field fan base in Jamaica. I don't think it's going to go over, as easy, maybe. And I don't think this is going over easy because, as I said, it is cutting me deeply, but I'm certainly understanding of why, the decisions were made. J3As, wow. I don't know at this particular point, if there's anything they could have done to stop this because there's a lot of things, being put out there as it relates to the treatment of these athletes post, winning medals at the Olympic Games. And as I said, really lifting us up out of a dark place because things were really going wrong for us in 2024. And we really had these young athletes in the field actually come out really strongly for us. And nothing came out of it really. So, honestly, I think this is a time for, deep introspection. The J3s really need to start looking within and figuring out what to do because if all our young athletes, because it literally it takes one to open a door for others to realize that, hold up, I can actually do this. I can actually do this, you know what I mean? And we don't know what type of ripple effect, this is going to trigger. And that's what I'm fearing more than anything else because the persons that have already chosen to leave and have already, followed through with the steps, that's gone and that's dusted, right? There's no change in that. But my issue with this whole thing is what is this going to trigger for the rest of the Jamaican athletes going forward? And I'm not talking about, third string, fourth string. I'm talking about the best of the best. I'm talking about the elite athletes. What is this going to trigger going forward for Team Jamaica? Right now, I am in a dark place when I think about, the future for Jamaica and, track and field. And as I said, I can't fault any of the athletes for choosing, this way out because honestly, it's no different from migrating for better opportunities, right? So, um, really and truly, there's not much to say, from their end. I'm just hoping that we can keep, Jamaica track and field together some way, somehow, without losing everybody. That's just my view, right? But anyway, Trackies, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As I said, I'm really hurt right now. I don't even know what I'm saying. I feel like I'm rambling. But certainly let me know your thoughts. Like the video, of course, and subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.